Hi everyone, today we are going to look at the student Alicia, a foreign language learner, English language learner. So firstly, I will be explaining her text and her mistakes in her text and why she has written this particular text. And then I will be looking at the strengths of the students. And my group mate Asma will be looking at her mistakes, and then she will explain us the rules of past simple, because Alicia is having a little bit of difficulty in past simple. Yes, and then Gunce will be our teacher, and Asma and I will be Gunce's students. So first, let's look at the text that the student wrote. So here's the text she wrote, and why she wrote that text is because she needed to explain a math problem that she completed, and the problem related to measuring fish tanks to see which one will fit. And below is her answer. So she wrote this paragraph because she was trying to explain the math problem she completed. Okay. Let's look at the mistakes in the text. In the first sentence, she wrote that she solved her problem by measuring the tanks. So the past form of this verb would fit better in here. Like, for example, she solved her problem by measuring the tanks. Okay, what she did first is that she gave a number to the tanks and then write it on a piece of paper. Okay, she again used the basic forms of the verb. Here, the past forms of these three verbs would fit better in the sentence, because the sentence is indicating a scene from a past. So we should be using the past tense and its forms. So let's look at the next sentence. Next, she measured the length of the tank, how long it is. And in this sentence, we can see other types of errors, because here she misspelled the word here, measured. Like she misspelled, and I think she didn't use the past form of the verb. Okay. And then in the end of the sentence, she wrote how long it is, but there's no need for that, because she already has explained what she meant here. Like next, the correct version of this sentence should be like, next, she measured the length of the tank. Then she measured the width. So here again, the verb is misused. It should be like, then she measured the width. Again, here she misspelled the width word. After that, she measured the height. Again, here the problem is the same. The verb and no, it's okay. She spelled the word correctly here. Then finally, she multiplied the length, width, and height. Here, the only problem is that she misspelled the verb, multiplied. Actually, yeah, she misspelled the verb, and then she also should have used the past form of the verb. And then in the next sentence, for tank 1, it was 12 feet. For tank 2, it was 9 feet. For tank 3, it was 10 feet. Here, it should be better if she put a comma after the tank 1, and also after for tank 2, and also she should have put comma after for tank 3. Also, we thought that putting dots in the end of the sentence would be better too. So yes, it should be something like that. Okay, the commas and dots are red, but she didn't use them. Okay, let's look at the last sentence. So tank 1 is the largest tank of tank 2 and 3. So in the end of tank 2 and 3, no need for these words because she already give the meaning with this sentence. So tank 1 is the largest tank. So it gives us the meaning directly, so we don't need these words at the end. Okay. So let's look at the strengths of Alicia. The first one is that the student knows the sequence of events. So we think that the sequence of events are clear, like she knows how to form up a basic sentence. With knowing the sequence of events, she also knows how to form up a basic sentence. But not necessarily in this simple past tense. She always uses the present simple tense form. Yes, she knows which words to use when forming these sentences. She knows the words for sure, but not necessarily she knows their spellings. She misspelled several words here. Especially she misspells the big words such as to measure, multiply. The others, she all spelled correctly. Yes. Also, one of her strengths that we think is good. She knows how to use noun clauses, such as what she did first was. And noun clauses are not elementary or beginner level forms in grammar, so we think that she might be better than these levels because she used what she did first was. Yes, these are the strengths of the student, Alicia.
Hi everyone, this is Asma, and I'm going to be picking up where Aysu left off by looking into Alicia's text again, real quick, just to look at the verbs that she'd used and then use that as a platform to explain the main grammar rules that we decided to focus on for this presentation. We're not going to really focus on the base, the question form, how to make questions with a simple past, or the negatives. We decided to just focus on the positive and focus on the two types of verbs that we have in the simple past. And then after that, I'm gonna provide a lead-in activity for Gunce's exercise. So let me just quickly share screen. Here we are. Okay, no, okay. All right, so here we are. To start off, I'm going to just give a basic definition of the simple past. Simple past indicates that an activity began and ended at a particular time in the past, which is really important that it ended in the past as well. This is a definition that I found in the book by Azar and Hagen. And now I want to just quickly go through Alicia's verbs. Solve, is, give, write, measure, and multiply. So these are the 6 verbs that Alicia really should have used in the simple past. And now I just made a quick table to show how they should change form. So solve, simple past, would be solved with an ed. Be would be was one way of using the simple past for verb to be. Give, gave, changing the I to an A. Write, wrote, I becomes an O. Measure becomes measured with an ED ending. Multiply becomes multiplied with an ED again. So as you notice here, the two different verbs, or two different kinds of verbs that we use in the simple past. One is solved, measured, and multiplied, which is the regular verbs, which are regular verbs, and then was, gave, and wrote, which are irregular verbs. Now, I think with the regular verbs, it's quite simple. It's just you add ed, and sometimes depending if you have like a y at the end, you might change that and put it, but usually it's just an ed at the end. Whereas was, other verbs that are irregular, such as verb to be, verb give, verb write, they just basically follow their own rule, and there is no one specific rule to give to the students, which is a bit annoying for the students, because they ask like, okay, how do I know how to put it in the past? They just have to memorize it. So yeah, that's one thing that they need to remember. Now, one cool thing about the simple past is that it doesn't change forms with subjects as often as it does with a simple present, for example, except with certain verbs. But here, let me just show you an example. So for example, I have all these subjects, right? And then we have, let's say we want to use the verb solved, the verb was, the verb gave, and the verb measured. Now, do they change form as we go through the different subjects? No, and yes, for just as an exception for one of them. So usually no. Such as, for example, like verb solved, like I solved the problem, you solved the problem, he solved, she, it, we, they, they're all the same, which is really cool, right? It's nice for the students. But with verb to be, which is usually always different from other verbs, it has two different forms. So if I say I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, those three are always usually the same. And then oh, why am I jumping to gave? No. Okay, we're jumping to gave, but anyways, the other ones, we and they are were as well. Then we have gave, gave. They're all the same. Measured, 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 all the same. The only differences again are what? We were and they were. So if you notice here, all the verbs are the same, or they don't change form except for the verb to be, which becomes was with I, he, she, and it, and then were with we, they, and you. Now, I think that's the main thing that we're going to focus on with the simple past. Now I'm going to provide a lead-in activity for Gunce's exercise. So I think this is a cool lead-in activity that I can start with, which is to start by personalizing what happened to me on my weekend. So I'll start by talking about my weekend, ask the students what they did in their weekend, or tell them today we're going to let's start by talking about what we did last week. And assuming ideally we're on a Monday, such as today. So we could just say, I'll start by saying, okay, last weekend it was really great. I went to my friend's place and we watched the X-Men movie. We ate pizza, we ate popcorn. I talked and laughed all night and slept all day. So I could just mention a series of activities that I'd done in my weekend. And then I'd ask them to repeat to me or tell me what I had done in my weekend. So here my question would be, okay, guys, so can you guys tell me what I had done in my weekend? Like, oh yeah, you went to your friend's house. Yes, I went to my friend's house. What else did I do? You watched X-Men, the movie. Great. Yeah, it was really nice, whatever. And what else did I do? You ate a lot of pizza. Yes, we ate a lot of pizza. We talked all night and then we slept all day. So it's just sentences that I'm going to get from them and get them to use exactly what. Basically, I'm modeling the correct form of the simple past, and then they're repeating it and giving it back to me. And then I write it on the board as they give me the answers. And then as I write it, after I'm done writing sentences, I'd ask them 3 questions. First is, can you find the verbs? So then they'll tell me, okay, it's went, watched, ate, talked, and slept. Cool. Question number 2, what tense is that? Past, present, future. Like, oh yeah, it's the past tense. How do we know it's the past tense? Because it says last weekend. Okay, so I can just just to confirm that they have the correct concept about simple past, I can be like, I could ask them like, okay, is this an action that happened in the past? Yes. Did it finish? Yes. Okay, then we use the simple past tense. Now, the third question I'd ask them, sorry, before I show the other slide is, do you notice anything different about the verbs? Do they all look the same? Do we follow the same rule when you use the simple past? So here they should be arriving to the conclusion that no, they're different. And they should notice that 2 of them have an ed at the end and the rest don't. Can I say, for example, I goed to my friend, put an ed? It doesn't work. I eated, no. So there are 2 different kinds of verbs in the simple past. We have regular and irregular. Regular ends with ed. So in this case, it would be watched and talked. Irregular would be went, ate, and slept. Thanks, you guys. Now over to Gunce.
Hello, everyone. And then this course is prepared for you and then for revision, our simple past tense. And then, our other courses, we focus on rules of past tense. And the last lesson, we stop irregular and irregular verb problems. And then now we explain regular and irregular verbs, and then how can we use them. Now we will focus on our exercise. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. And here I prepared for you an exercise which are regular, which are irregular verbs. And then Alicia, would you like to start?
Okay. Do.
Do. Regular or irregular?
Is it regular?
Oh, Aysu, do you agree, your friend?
I think it is irregular.
Can you explain why it's irregular?
Because it is its past form is did, I think.
Yeah. Alicia, is it okay?
Yes. So did, irregular. Okay.
Okay. And then Aysu, I want you to continue.
Okay. Play. It is regular. Played.
Play. If our verb is regular, and then what will we do while we are using this verb in simple past tense?
We just put ed in the end of the verb.
Yeah. Alicia?
This is steady.
Yeah.
Steadied. Regular.
You are perfect. And I want you to, Alicia, could you give me a sentence, example sentence for with study?
I studied math yesterday.
Very nice. And Aysu?
Yeah, eat. Ate. Irregular.
Eat. And in simple past form is ate, irregular. And Alicia?
Yes. Break. Braked.
Yeah.
Braked. Regular.
Break is regular. While we are using break in simple past tense, we say braked.
I braked my phone.
Or I broke my phone.
Okay, so irregular.
It is irregular. Good job for you. Now we will continue our another exercise. And then this exercise is very, very enjoyable. I prepared for you and I prepare a game for you so that we will look at the game. Don't forget, we are focusing on regular and irregular verbs. And if our verbs is regular and we add ed while we are using our regular verb in simple past tense, and if our verb is irregular, we change its form. And now we will play a game here. I will ask you, and can you see? Can you see
Yeah,
my?
yeah, we can
Okay.
see now.
I will ask and I will read the verb. After then, I want you to match the past form of the word that I read for you. Okay? Can you understand what will we do? Okay, let's start. Alicia, go.
Go, go. I don't see it. Went.
Went. Good job. I matched for you. Aysu, read.
Read.
Read. And Alicia, tell.
Tell, told.
Told. Good job. And Aysu, ask.
Asked.
Regular or irregular?
Regular.
Regular. Yeah. What are they doing?
Playing.
Play.
Play. Irregular or regular?
Regular.
So that we add
ed. Play.
play.
Play. Nice.
And what is she doing?
She's opening the window.
So
Open.
that in past form, Alicia
Opened.
opened.
Ed.
She opened the window.
Earlier, she opened.
Good job. So what are they doing now?
I think he's telling something. Tell?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And Alicia, what is in the past?
Told.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
He told. Aysu,
Sure.
would you like to help your friend?
Told.
Told, because it is irregular.
Okay.
Ah. Okay.
He told her.
He
Really?
told.
It's okay.
Okay. And what did he do? Alicia,
Asleep.
sleep. He's sleeping. Now, in the past,
Slept.
good job, Aysu. Thank you for your help. Slept. And Alicia, what he
Read.
read?
What?
In the past,
Aysu said read.
Read. Read.
read.
Actually, it's spelled the same, but pronounced differently. Maybe teacher.
Thank you. And now, and Alicia, what did she do?
But I think Gunce, it's enough, right? I think because the time.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
two
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can cut the other activity. I think.
Okay,
this
now.
is good. It's good. It has this.
And our time will end. We'll finish. And then I want you to, and there is an executed activity here, and then it's a song. I want you to listen this song and please complete this song and complete this song's lyrics, what you hear, and then which form you hear. Okay. And then just I want you to listen the song and after that fill in the blanks and send me. Okay.
Send it to your email.
Yeah, send it to me as an email. Okay. So that thank you very much for your participation, and then I hope you understand the irregular and regular verbs, honeys.
Okay.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
See you.